our recipe today is Hamantaschen cookies, which are a type of cookie that were developed for the Jewish holiday Purim. Hard. Okay. And their distinctive shape actually comes from King Hamantaschen's hat. So they're very distinctive. You can instantly tell it's a Hamantaschen. So we're going to make up our batter first. So we have some cream cheese. We're going to add a stick of softened butter to that. If I can just, not that way. There we go. A quarter cup of sugar. Quarter teaspoon of salt, of kosher salt. That may be a bit. Okay. And then half a teaspoon or full teaspoon? Half a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, there we go. And then you'll want to take your electric mixer and mix this up. Since it's really loud, we're going to mix off camera. So once you've mixed it up, it'll look like this. It's very nice and fluffy and light. You'll want to start slow because it will splatter around at the beginning. But once your batter is like this, you'll want to add a cup of flour and gently mix that in with a wooden spoon. There's not really much to say other than this is a very slow process right now. Eesh. Don't go out of the bowl, though. Don't do that. So now that your dough is all ready and mixed together, you'll want to have mashed it down to mix it fully. And bring the dough together. We're going to move our dough onto a plastic sheet of, and you'll just want to bring your dough onto here. Trying to make sure I get all the dough off. It's all on the spoon. Now it's on my finger. Okay, that part's not coming off. Just a little bit more. Okay. Now, once all your dough is on the sheet, you'll want to wrap it up and put it in the fridge for a half hour to chill and set. So once your dough is all nice and chilled, you're going to want to take a bit of it and put it on your board. make sure there's plenty of flour because this stuff sticks. So make sure there's flour on your board, on your rolling pin, on your hands. You might want to pull a gymnast here and just cover your hands in flour. Then you're going to roll it out. Now this is the most difficult part, as this will attempt to stick and break apart at every turn. It is frustrating. So you want to roll this out until it's a 1/4 inch thick. Keep moving it around. That way, get it nice and spread. And no matter what happens, just roll with it because stuff will happen. Make sure you have a nice amount of flour on your dough at all times. That way it's less likely to stick. You might want to turn it over. Make sure you get the bottom. And if any holes develop, just pinch it together. Yep, there's a hole there. And just keep rolling until you have enough to cut dough, to cut circles from. Nope, hole was developing. There's holes everywhere on this. Okay. So that looks good. So you're going to take a cup, I recommend dunk it in some flour so that way it doesn't stick to the cup. Then go and cut out circles from your dough. Looks like I only rolled it so that there's enough for one. But move your scraps to the side. We'll use them again later. And then you're going to take your filling. And I'm using Nutella this time, and we have some cherry jam that we're going to include in some of them as well. You'll want a bit of this, like the empanadas that we made earlier. You won't need a lot. Just scoop some down in the middle, if it wants to stay in the middle, which it most likely will not. But in terms of fillings, you can do everything from fruits, jam, nuts. I personally like pie filling because it's not as watery as the jam, so it'll stick better. And that way when you're folding your Hamantaschen, it's less likely to run all over the place and you'll have more filling. So now we're going to fold our Hamantaschen. So we have our circle of dough with some extra bits. So you're going to take one corner, fold it up, and pinch it at the corner so it closes. And repeat for two other sides until you have a triangle shape. Now, different countries and different areas, different cultures will want to do different shapes. Some places like to keep the filling just completely covered, so you don't see any. And that has a symbolic meaning of you don't really see the good that's going to come. But this is the version I grew up with, so this is the version I'm making now. So we're going to move these to the sheet and cook them, and continue rolling these out. Continue rolling out your dough until you have no more dough left, and then you can keep going and just keep getting all these Hamantaschen out. So once you've formed your Hamantaschen, you're going to want to put them on a tray with foil. That way they don't stick to your tray. And you're going to want to put them in the fridge for half an hour. After that, you're going to make an egg wash, and you're going to egg wash the edges of your cookies. That way they get nice and golden brown. Try not to put the egg wash on the filling. We'll see how well I do with that now. So egg wash. More egg wash. Okay. One cookie successful. Yay! Beep, beep. And the people go upstairs at it again. Yeah. Just got a new piano and they've been playing it non-stop. So joy over my bake, I gotta listen to a little girl practicing piano. So now that you have your cookies all egg washed, you're going to want to put them in an oven at 350 degrees for 15 minutes. So these are Hamantaschen now that they're finished. We're one short because one was just jam and had none of since it was a cherry jam, they have those nice chunks of cherry. That one had none, so yeah. But here are nice ones. And let's take a bite. Let's try one of these jam ones. This might be a jam and cranberry one. Of course, it fell apart on me again. They're really good. One of the things I always liked about these is that you have a not so sweet dough. It's rather not salty, but it's like a shortbread. And then you can fill it with whatever filling you like. So you bite in, it wouldn't be that sweet, but then you have a sweet filling, and it's so good. So if you're ever interested in making a delicious cookie to share, definitely make some Hamantaschen. They're really good.